Hi guys, welcome back to another video. As you've seen from the title, today we are going to talk about the documents, the civil documents that you need to submit to your agencies so that they can file for you your visa that will allow you to access the US and work there in this journey. So before that, I'd like to welcome our new members. Yeah, I've realized I've gotten some new members joining the family, so feel welcome. And also, if you have any questions, write in the comment box so that we can be able to share ideas and be able to answer your questions. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So before we start this video, I have my little notebook here. I've written things here so that I don't forget to mention them in this video, so that I don't miss out anything. So before we begin, we look at the documents that you are supposed to have and send to the agencies so that they can send them to the Nation Visa Center for your visa processing. I want to tell you guys this. These documents are supposed to be the most current documents that you have. Yeah, by the most current, I mean there are documents that are going maybe to expire in the next 6 months. Those are not very current and they'll not be available for so long. So the documents that you're supposed to submit are supposed to be very current, especially those documents that usually expire. So you should take note of that. And then how you send to your agencies for them to submit to the Nation Visa Center. These documents are usually just scanned. You just scan them and email your agency, and then the agency will submit the documents to the Nation Visa Center. So that's how you send these documents. I haven't sent any document via any courier. I just scanned the documents and emailed them to the agencies, and they send them to the Nation Visa Center. So that's how you send to the agencies. And then another thing that I want to remind you guys is, once you've gotten the documents, please keep them safe. Keep the originals safe, because these documents you'll need to have them when you go to the exit interview at your local embassy. So keep them safe, keep the originals, be sure to have them when you go to the exit interview. So just take note of that as you get these documents. I will also want to encourage you guys, if you haven't even passed your NCLEX yet, or if you haven't started submitting these documents yet, the documents that I'm going to talk about, please start looking for them early. Yeah, I know some people may not have all the documents, so it is good that you come across this video and start looking for the documents early, so that when the time comes when you need them, especially those that don't expire as soon as, let's say, 1 year, start looking for them early, so that when the time comes and you need them and you need to submit these documents to your agency, you don't waste time running around to get the documents. And sometimes if you are late, you have to maybe pay extra expedition fees so that you can get these documents faster. So I'll urge you guys that you start preparing as early as this. looking for these documents. Okay, so having said that, we'll now start looking at the documents that you are supposed to have so that they can be sent to the Nation Visa Center for your processing. And I'll also be giving you a site that you can go and check out your country-specific documents. This site is where I got this information. It has all the information that you'll need so that you can know what document and exactly how they should be for your visa processing. So the site is called travelstate.gov, travelstate.gov. I'll put it on the screen, and I'll also put the link in the description box so that when you just click on it, it will take you directly to this site, and you can enter the name of your country or just the letter, and it will give you a list of countries that start with the same letter as your country, and you'll choose your country and look at the specific documents that you need for your visas. So these documents that I'm going to talk to you about are general documents. I know there could be other detailed documents that you have that you might need if you have issues. Yeah, so like death certificates, that is special for if your spouse died or something like that. Those are other special documents, but I'm going to majorly dwell on the general documents that you need for your visa processing. So the first document that I want to talk about is your birth certificate. Not yours only, but the birth certificate of you, your spouse, and your children. They might be adopted children, they might be your biological children, but you need their birth certificate or an adoption certificate for your adopted children. And I know most of you guys have these certificates, so just make sure you have them. Some people may not have them. I know many people who walk around without their birth certificates, especially the older generations. They never gave priority to such documents. Or you might have your birth certificate, but your names are not matching the names that you've used in your current certificates that you have. So make sure to check them and make sure that your names are okay. There's nothing misspelled. And if there is any problem, you should go to the places where they issue birth certificates from your country and make sure that that is corrected and you have it ready for your visa processing. So that's the first document. Birth certificates, very important. The second document that you should have is your marriage certificate. If you're planning to get married, please do start right now, because when they start asking for this document, they want them fast. So start doing that as early as now. Prepare for if it is a civil wedding, prepare and follow your country's rules. As per my country, you're supposed to have that whatever wedding that you'll have, it most of the time it is customary. It should be customary. So you should do that and get your certificate. In my country, you get your certificates from maybe the Aegis office, and you'll also apply for another certified copy from a government portal that is called eCitizen, that is in Kenya. If you are in Kenya, you apply for that certified copy which you pay for it, and it should take at least 21 days. That's at least what the site says. It should take 21 days for you to get the copies, and that copy is really what is needed when you go for exit interview. I know previous people in Kenya just used their marriage certificate that they were given at the Aegis office, and it was accepted, but right now they are requesting for the certified copy, and you have to apply for it through this portal, the eCitizen. You will see it on the screen, eCitizen, and apply for certified copy. Get it. That will be needed in your exit interview and when you go for your exit interview at the embassy. So just take note of that. If you are in another country, just look at the guidelines of what is needed with the marriage certificate and be sure that is accurate and up to date. The third civil document that I want to talk about is the police clearance form. It might be called another name in your country, but it is usually just to look at your moral record. If you have any criminal record, that is basically what the police clearance form looks at. In my country, you apply for it. I applied for it and it took about 2 months for it to come out. So you should check what your country says, and there are some countries that you apply for it and it expires in maybe 3 months. In my country, it expires in 1 year. So in such a case, your agency will advise you on what time you should apply. If it expires very soon, your agency will know when to tell you to apply, because you don't want to apply for it and it expires before you get your exit date. So just check on the site that I've linked in the description box and know specifically what they need for your police clearance. Okay, so on the police clearance also, you have to get police clearance from any countries that you've lived over 6 months. Yeah, let's say I'm in Kenya and I've lived in another country for more than 6 months. You should also get a police clearance from there. So you'll have a police clearance from the country you're in, from the other country that you stayed in for more than 6 months. So just make sure to do that. And when you're applying for this police clearance form, please include all the names that you have ever used. If you have different names from different certificates or an added name, please include it in your police clearance form so that your visa is not denied on grounds that maybe you are hiding some information from the Nation Visa Center. So just be sure to include all the names that you have on that police clearance form, because they are doing a background check on you and they want to make sure that you are a safe person before they allow you to get into their country. Okay, the fourth document that I want to talk about is the passport. You should have a passport that is not expiring in the next 6 months. So make sure you have a passport. They will need the bio page of your passport. You should send them that, and you should have a passport for your whole family. Your spouse and children should also have their passports. So I know, like in my case, I didn't have a passport. I applied for it before I went for the NCLEX, and my spouse didn't have it, so we had to arrange for that also. and it delayed things. So these are good to do things that you should do before these things are asked for. So just take note of that. You can apply for passports for your family before they want to request for these things. So that is the fourth document that you should have. And added documents, if you are divorced before, because on your DS-260 form they will ask you if you are married, if you are divorced, if you've ever been married. And if you say you've ever been married, you should show an evidence that you're no longer with that person. If you have a kid with that person, you should show an evidence that they allow their children to get out of their country, they've given consent. So divorce certificates come in here. If you've ever been divorced, you need to show evidence that you are really divorced. So start looking for these things as early as this. Another added civil document that I wanted to put in here is death or burial certificates. Also go to that site and see specifically what they need from your country. So if you are married and your spouse died, you should show evidence that they really died. And you're not just taking kids out of the country against someone else's will, because you are two parents that are entitled to that child. So you must show that you are or your spouse died through these certificates. Yeah, so you should know that. Another civil document that I wanted to add is the adoption certificate. That is if you've adopted children, they're not your biological children, you need to show documentation that you really legally adopted these children. So you must have this adoption certificate. And then another important civil document that you should not forget is your identity card. I know most of the countries have their IDs, their identity cards specifically for their countries. That is supposed, it's also needed when you submit your documents to your agency for your visa processing. And remember, your agency is not the one processing your visa. Your visa is being processed by the Nation Visa Center. So you need to send the right documents there to avoid your visa being cancelled or denied at the time that you are supposed to be exiting. So generally those are the documents that I wanted to talk to you about. And if there is anything more that you need to know, more documents, because these are just general, please visit that site, thetravelstate.gov, to know more about specifically what they require from you from your countries, because we are not in the same country and I didn't do research from all the countries, but this is a resource that you can, it is a resource that is certified that you can get all this information. So that's the end of our video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, you'll be missing out a lot, because you'll not get all this information that I'm putting out. So please subscribe and also put on the notification button so that you don't miss any video that I upload, and join this family. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video that I'll be talking about immunization, titers, all those vaccines that you are supposed to get before you exit. So I'll see you in that video. Bye.